So with that in mind, I'm going to read an Archie Campbell fairy story with Victor Borge's phonetic punctuation. I have way too much time on my hands. And this is the story of Rindacella. Guitar's gonna get in the way. Stay. Rindacella. Once upon a time, in a Corran country, Warafay, there lived a very gritty pearl named Rindacella. Now Rindacella lived with her stickit metwother and her two Dudley otters, a pair of bean mitches. In the same Corran country, there lived a pransome hince. And this pransome hince was looking for a life. So he decided to have a bancy fall, and he invited people for riles amount, especially the pitch reaple. Now Rindacella's stickit metwother and the two Dudley otters went to town to buy some drancy fesses for the bancy fall. But Rindacella couldn't go because all she had to wear were some ruddy old dags. Please can I go to the bancy fall? Begged Rindacella. In those ruddy dags? Whoa, nay, said the two bean mitches. Finally, the night of the bancy fall arrived, and when Rindacella couldn't go, she just cracked down and sighed. Suddenly, her Gary Mudfather appeared and touched her with a magic wand, and poof, Rindacella was dressed in the ghost beautiful bound and slash glippers. And then there appeared before her a kig boach and wicks height sources to take her to the bancy fall. And the Gary Mudfather said, Rindacella, be sure and be home before midnight, or I'll turn you into a tompkin. When Rindacella arrived at the bancy fall, the pransome hince met her at the door because he'd been watching behind a wooden window. Well, Rindacella and the pransome hince manced until midnight, and they lell in fove. Suddenly, the clock mucked midnight. Rindacella spaced down the rears, and just as she beached the rottum, she slopped her drass glipper. The next day, the pransome hince and his men went all over this Corran country looking for the beautiful girl who had slopped her dripper. They finally came to Rindacella's house, and he tried it on the stickit metwother, and it fidn't did. Then he tried it on the two sisty uglers, the bottom riches, and it fidn't did. And then he tried it on Rindacella. And it fid did. It was exactly the sight rise. And so they were married and lived heavily ever after. Now, the storl of the Maury is, if you go to a bancy fall and you want a pransome hince to loll and fove with you, don't forget to slop your dripper. Victor Borge, Archie Campbell.